Let's go to number 7. The following diagram shows CD with length b centimeters, where b greater than 1. Squares with side length key centimeter, key square centimeters, key third power centimeters, where k is greater than 0, less than 1, are drawn along CD. This process is carried on indefinitely. The diagram shows the first 3 squares. The total sum of the areas of all the squares is 9/16. Find the value of b. Sum of the squares. This is a key square. This is a key to the 4th power, key to the 6th power, and so on. So for the sum equals k squared plus k to the 4th power plus k to the 6th power. Keep going. It's so obvious this is a geometric series. U sub 1 equals k squared, and the common ratio equals k to the 4th power over k squared equals k squared. Since k is greater than 0, less than 1, then k squared greater than 0, less than 1, which means for this geometric series, we can use this formula. S sub infinity equals u sub 1 over 1 minus r. So we have k squared over 1 minus k squared. We set up equals 9/16. So cross multiply. 16k squared equals 9 minus 9k squared. This is a power equation, isolation. 16 plus 9 is 25k squared equals 9. Then divided by 25 both sides. We will get k squared equals 9/25. Then square root both sides. Since k greater than 0, less than 1 is positive, k equals 3/5. We already figured out this k equals 3/5. We need to figure out b. From this diagram, we know the b is the sum of k plus k squared plus k to the 3rd power. Keep going. Basically, b is the infinite geometric series. This time, the first term equals k. The common ratio equals k squared over k equals k. Because k is greater than 0, less than 1, we can use this infinite geometric series formula to figure out this b. b equals u sub 1 is k. 1 minus r is k. Now we plug in 3/5. 1 minus 3/5. 1 minus 3/5, that is 2/5. Both denominator we can reduce. The answer will be 3/2. So b equals 3/2. Let's go to 8a. An arithmetic sequence u sub 1, u sub 2, u sub 3 has u sub 1 equals 1 and a common difference d is not equal to 0. Given that u sub 2, u sub 3, and u sub 6 are the first 3 terms of a geometric sequence, find the value of D. According to the given information, we know u sub 1, u sub 2, u sub 3, u sub 6, and so on are arithmetic sequence. U sub 2, U sub 3, U sub 6 are the first three terms of a geometric sequence. So for arithmetic sequence, I can write down U sub 2 equals U sub 1 plus D. U sub 3 equals U sub 1 plus 2D. U sub 6 equals U sub 1 plus 5D. For the geometric sequence, we know U sub 3 over U sub 2 equals U sub 6 over U sub 3. Cross multiply, U sub 3 squared equals U sub 2 times U sub 6. Since U sub 1 equals 1, we can write down 1 plus D. For U sub 3, it's 1 plus 2D. For U sub 6, 1 plus 5D. Then I will plug into this equation. U sub 3 squared, that is 1 plus 2D squared, equals U sub 2, that is 1 plus D, times 1 plus 5D. Then we will do the for U. 1 plus 4D plus 4D squared equals 1 plus 5D plus D plus 5D squared. Combine like terms. 4D squared plus 4D plus 1 equals 5D squared plus 6D plus 1. We know this is a quadratic equation, so move everything from left side to the right side. We want to make the coefficient for D squared is positive. 0 equals D squared plus 2D. 1 canceled. So common factor is D, D plus 2. D1 equals 0, D2 equals negative 2. Since 0 cannot be the answer, so D equals negative 2 is the solution. For 8b, given that U sub n equals negative 15, determine the value of sum as r goes from 1 to n of U sub r. Since we know U sub 1 equals 1 and D equals negative 2, so we can write down the sequence 1, negative 1, negative 3, negative 5, and so on. We know the U sub n equals negative 15. So for U sub n equals U sub 1 plus n minus 1 times D. According to this formula, we know U sub 1 is 1 plus n minus 1 times negative 2 equals negative 15. We will figure out this n. 1 minus 2n plus 2, because we will do distributive property here, equals negative 15. So negative 2n equals negative 15 minus 2 minus 1. Negative 2n equals negative 18. So n equals 9. Then for this summation, we can use this formula. That is 9 over 2 times 2 times 1 plus 9 minus 1 times negative 2 equals 9 over 2. 2 minus 16. That equals negative 63.